You're not gonna make it. No, you ain't gonna make it. You're not gonna make it, but you can. Hey, welcome to the You're Not Gonna Make It podcast, where I discuss topics that make you feel like humanity's not gonna make it. I'm Kevin, and usually I like to discuss 2 or so topics that are threats to your physical and mental health. But first things first, I want you to do me a favor. Check your phone screen time right now. Is it over 4 hours? If so, you gotta make some changes. According to 2 different sources, the average adult spends about 3 hours and 45 minutes on their phone per day. If you're thinking, that's not too bad, your perspective is fucked. Listen, I'm not going to say that's never happened to me in the past. It absolutely has. I spent several hours per day on my phone because a phone can do anything. Why wouldn't you, right? So I'm not I'm not immune to this, of course, and even these days, if I don't put certain timers on, YouTube or something, Dragon Ball memes will just suck my life away. But you got to be aware that this is not good. Now, why isn't it good? Well, I'm sure you're aware that brain rot exists, and since most phone experiences these days are absolutely horrible, this transfers over to your physical body as well. For one, your sleep gets absolutely destroyed. Now, I'm not like this. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. A person who uses their phone in bed before they go to sleep. There's no easy way to say this. If you use your phone in bed, you are probably fucking up your sleep, your morning, and probably your day. The biggest issue with using your phone in bed is the blue light emitting from it. Now, what that blue light does is it tells your brain, hey, we got to pay attention to this cool thing. It does not tell your brain, hey, it's time to sleep. This blue light, in addition to whatever you're looking at, is going to make it damn near impossible for you to sleep soon. Unless you're one of those lucky fucks who can sleep in 8 seconds. Most people think when they're on their phone, they're relaxing, they're scrolling through videos, not thinking that much. It's not true. Your brain is actually processing a lot of stuff. It's very awake. It's not chill. It's not relaxing at all. It's got bright lights, all these colors, and a bunch of changing content in front of your face. It is not relaxing. This situation is basically the phone is acting as some cursed artificial sunlight to your brain, and it's like, whoa, I'm gonna be awake for a long time. There's so much shit going on, so bright. Oh my god, yeah. Stay awake. So yeah, stop using your phone in bed. That's fucked. What you should do is stop using your phone or any form of screen really about an hour or more before bed. Ideally 2, but most people cannot and will not do that. And if you're one of those people who will not do that, here's some alternatives. What you can do is get a pair of blue light blocking glasses. Now, the exact brand you'll have to look into yourself. I may link one in the show description if I find a good one, but you have to kind of look into it because the ones that have the really dark orange, they don't necessarily block all blue light. And some of them that looked very, very transparent, they block all blue light. So you have to really do research on good brands. The brand I use, I got off Amazon. And as you know, if you don't get something American on Amazon, the brand is possibly not going to exist in 7 months. So I don't think I can link that, but if I find something good, I'll link it. But blue light glasses can help because they put a bunch of orange in your face and that will kind of block off the blue light and make it easier for you to relax. Now, this is especially helpful for a TV or computer. TVs, most of them don't have that nightlight feature that your phone has that turns the screen a bit orangey. So if you're watching TV at night, which you probably shouldn't, but if you're going to do that, use the blue light glasses. Your computer and your phone, though, they do have nightlight options on there, so use it. All right, don't complain, saying, "Oh my god, it makes it ugly and or I don't." It doesn't fucking matter. You shouldn't be on your phone to begin with, all right? And if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna be on your phone at night, block out the harmful stuff. All right, that way you can have somewhat of your fun there, and you won't fuck up your sleep that badly. And plus, if you leave your phone out of your bed, you're not gonna grab it if you wake up in the middle of the night because you're addicted. It'll help you sleep more if that's just not an option for you. And for God's sake, please, please use Do Not Disturb at night. Please. If you don't, you're really not going to make it. You know how babies keep their parents up by crying all night? Pretend your brain is the parent and your phone is the baby. That's how it works. So shut your phone up. The next big physical problem that excessive screen time causes is that your posture morphs into that of, I don't know, a hunchback. So if you lean forward and look down at your phone all the time, the front half of your body, the anterior chain, becomes a bit overactive, which means tight. And because our body loves symmetry and balance, this means that the back half of your body, the posterior chain, becomes a bit underactive. In other words, loose. So, can you guess what happens if your front is tight, but your back, especially your upper back, is loose? That's right, you become Quasimodo. You're going to be a hunchback and you're going to have shit ass posture. And with your terrible posture, you're probably going to need to pay for a walker or a wheelchair at some point. So, maybe avoid it. Think about before smartphones even became popular. The typical desk worker, they use a computer, they're writing papers, whatever, they're not exercising properly to balance it out, and they're leaning forward all the time, so they have a hunch. So can you imagine if you add several hours of you looking down per day? That's going to fuck your posture up. Your upper back will become completely useless. You're going to be like a Titan from Attack on Titan. Your nape will become a weak point. Someone will be able to karate chop you in the back of your neck and just kill you instantly because there will be nothing there anymore. So what you should do is hold your phone up in front of your face if you're going to use it. That's pretty silly, but the alternative is not using your phone as much, and a lot of you addicts won't do that, so hold your phone up in front of your face if you can. Or if you don't want to change any of those habits whatsoever, you can put extra focus on pulling exercises at the gym. Because when you're pulling, you're working on your back. If you want to do upper back stuff, make sure where you're pulling from is above your eye line. So you're kind of, pulling from above, so to speak. So your upper back will, get stronger to counteract the bullshit you're doing with your phone. But honestly, just use your phone less. What are you, addicted or something? But most people are. And as a result, their memory gets worse and worse. This one's tough to say if it's a physical health issue or a mental health issue, because we're talking about your brain, right? That's physical, but it's your brain. That's mental as well, right? In this case, it's probably physical, I guess. So most people, when they use their phone, it's not for anything useful, right? Most of the time, they're just spending that time scrolling through random videos. So think about this. Out of the 6 YouTube shorts or TikTok videos you've seen last session, how many do you remember? What, like 5, 3, 1, 0? In terms of percentage, that's pretty bad. There's pretty much no return on investment there. You spent 2, 5, 8 hours doing that and you got, 5 chuckles out of it. It's not great. Why don't you just watch a comedy movie at that point? But besides the time wasted there, your memory gets worse. What do you think constantly swiping away interesting things does to your brain? You're teaching it to dump information that isn't useful or entertaining to you immediately. So next time you need to remember a set of instructions or something, you're fucked. Your brain's going to get bored at step 2 and you're just going to dump step 1 and you're going to have to start over again. So not only are you kind of messing up your memory in a way because you're teaching your brain to not really retain that information, but at the same time, you're overstimulating it to the point where it can't retain information, even if it wanted to. Think about it. Imagine you had a bucket of water, or a bucket trying to hold water after it's been torn apart by an industrial water hose, or what do you call that? A power washer or something. So there's a bunch of holes in the bucket because there's too much water. So now it's just trying to hold water regularly. It's gonna be tough because there's a bunch of fucking holes in it. That's what's basically happening to your brain. It's getting inundated with a buttload of information and it can't hold it because first of all, it's dumping out a bunch of stuff that isn't immediately interesting to you. And it's just too much. Your brain doesn't know what to retain. It's like, "Oh, should I keep this? I don't know. I'm used to getting 40,000 pieces of information in an hour, so I don't know what to keep. I don't know what to do." So it just kinda panics and doesn't. I mean, I'm obviously, simplifying it and making shit up at the same time, but basically your brain is used to just taking in so much shit that it doesn't know what to keep and it doesn't keep as much as it used to. So here's what I recommend. Not only is your brain getting ruined with this, but your body is too. It's paying a toll. Use the Screen Time app on what is it, iPhone, and I think it's called Digital Wellbeing on Android. Use that to figure out how much time you're spending. If it's over the average of 3 hours and 45 minutes a day, you need help. Reduce your stuff. If it's over 3 hours, you need help. If it's over 2 hours, honestly, you need help. But, baby steps here. So figure out what is eating up that time. Is it a game? Is it an app? If it's a specific set of apps, put timers on them. Do you really need to be on them for unlimited time? Probably not. So put timers on them. That way you can get your time in, but you're not stuck in a loop of constantly using the app. You know that loop? I used to suffer from this a while ago. You're done going through some app like, YouTube or Reddit. You close it and you open it up again. You're like, oh, let's see what's new. And then you're like, oh, fuck, what am I, addicted? Yes. Yes, you are. But that's okay. You can put timers on that and work your way up to not being addicted. And just overall, just think about what you actually need your phone for. It's a tool, right? It's not a hobby. So think about what you need it for. If you're just using it as a hobby, maybe get a different hobby. Because your back and your sleep are going to suffer quite a lot. You're not going to make it, in other words. But if you put your fucking phone away, I think you can make it. So now we're going to move on to something that's going to attack your mental health directly. Something that I've been seeing a bit in the news, concerns about it. And, you don't need the news to tell you this will be a problem, is people using AI for companionship. Like using a robot for a friend. And not in a cool way like R2D2. I mean, like, I can't communicate with humans, so I need to speak to a robot. That's fucked. And I definitely see that being a more common thing going forward. Because honestly, some of this AI is getting pretty good, but good in a bit of a creepy way. Now, this trend started several years ago, but if you think about when you would call customer service hotlines, they started putting in this sound effect of a keyboard typing so that the robot voice, you're supposed to think it's typing something for you and looking something up for you. That was already kind of ridiculous, and it's trying to make people more patient by thinking, oh yeah, it's definitely a real person, even though it's definitely a fucking robot. Now, the modern version of that is AI using sighs, inhales. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You don't have lungs. It's so creepy. But with all these little touches, it'll make people more comfortable treating AI as an actual friend. And there's going to be a whole generation who's totally okay with this because if you remember, during COVID, there were lockdowns, people had to stay at home. There's going to be a whole generation of kids who, when they think of contact with other humans, they think, oh, yeah, that's illegal. I can't do that. Or there was a time where physical contact was illegal, and that was part of, my upbringing. That's gonna fuck people up. It's gonna cause people to have some hesitance when they want to interact with other humans. You add that with AI being really good, and they're like, oh well, I don't feel comfortable with humans, so let me talk to this cool robot, and I'll be good. I'll make it even my robot girlfriend. I'll have it generate an image of exactly the kind of girlfriend I want, and she'll be exactly the way I want. Not only can I have robot friends, I can create robot friends. I mean, technology-wise, we gotta admit, that's cool, but that's not fucking good for your mental health at all. It's like the movie Her, where Joaquin Phoenix's character has the AI earbud and he prefers that over normal people. And it's not so happy. It's a bit sad, honestly. But that will be the future. And I can't say I'm surprised. It makes total sense. You have a society that's becoming more and more antisocial. They just want to spend time on their phone. Some of them remember a time where they grew up and you had to be at least 6 feet from other human beings. And then these new technologies are coming out. They can be what you want them to be. They know everything. They're connected to the internet. I mean, you can quite literally create a Nick Cage AI and have it be your boyfriend. Like that. For some people, it's going to be pretty appealing. And I understand that. But if everyone is doing that, it's going to decay humanity much faster than it already is. So let's try to make some friends in real life. I think that would be great. At the very least, if you're going to have long distance, online friends, whatever, make sure they're real. God, I just thought of catfishing with AI. Imagine you had an online friend you've only spoken to on, Reddit or Discord or something. It turned out they were an AI bot the whole time. My God. It's actually closer to reality than I'm saying, because even now on social media, there are literal accounts who are actually just ChatGPT. Now, what you could possibly get out of pretending to be someone's friend as a robot, well, probably money or free games or something. You know what? Now that I'm saying it, this has probably happened like 2 months ago. But this kind of stuff will happen more and more. And for companionship's sake, it's gonna be bad if people prefer robots over real humans. Now, you can think of it in a different way. Maybe I don't know, there's a parent whose child died prematurely. Maybe they can have an AI child they can, an AI version of their dead kid they can talk to. That could be calming, maybe. I don't know. That This is going to be a new world, but my thing is, if you are preferring robots over humans, then that's going to be a problem. I mean, maybe. Is it really a problem? Most humans kind of suck. So you know what? Maybe this is cool, actually. Who knows? All I know is the more that we use AI, the more I'm going to be diverted to a stupid ass robot instead of having my actual problem solved in customer service. So, you know what? Thumbs down. People with only AI friends are not going to make it. But I hope you can. But yeah, that about wraps it up. If you want to complain to me about me slandering your AI girlfriend or your AI Nick Cage husbando, leave a comment. If you want to leave a cool review, go for it. Either way, I will see you next time. You're not gonna make it. No, you ain't gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. But you can.